Hey, you have a Loog! Congrats! That's so cool! And I know you clicked on this video because you want to learn how to play it and you don't know where to start. And I'm really grateful that you stopped by this video to learn how to play your Loog. This is part one of a four-part series. Basically, your first 4 lessons, I think, is the best way to get into playing the Loog. I've been an educator for over 20 years and I'm a certified Loog educator, and I wrote a book to help you learn how to play the Loog from day one. And if I went back to day one, I asked myself, what would I want to learn? And if you pick up a copy of Learn the Loog Level 1, you'll get a chance to go page by page with me as I go page by page in the book in this video. So this is part one, getting to know your instrument and learning how to hold your pick and learning your strings. That's what we're gonna cover today. You see that it's also a coloring book, so it's kind of fun to be able to get your crayons or markers and be able to color along as you're going page by page. I'm on the page that has a picture of your Loog, and it has the parts of your Loog. Let's learn the parts of your Loog. We have the body, the neck, the head, we have our strings, we have the tuners, we have the frets right here, and then we have what's called a nut that holds the strings up over the fretboard, and it connects to the bridge down here, which also holds the strings up over the fretboard, and then the pegs hold the strings into the bridge. Those are the parts of your Loog. How do we hold a pick like a pro? Well, we've got 4 parts, and I want to show you in this diagram how I hold my pick like a pro, and a lot of guitar players hold their pick the same way, hence hold it like a pro. So if you take your hand and you pull the trigger of the squirt gun, you're going to get a bend in your fingers like that. And you want to do, that's part 2. Part 3 is placing the pick right on this part of your first finger, the very tip of your first finger, on the edge. And then part 4 is taking your thumb and you're going to cover it up. Notice that the pick is pointing straight down and your thumb is pointing across like a T. There you go. That's how you hold your pick. Why is it important to hold your pick like that? When you're strumming down and up on your Loog, you'll notice that the pointy part of the pick is going to strum at a very strong angle or an intersection with the strings. And your thumb is kind of a nice guideline to keep you straight. If you look at your thumb and the strings, they should look like 2 train tracks moving this way. And the pick should be the intersection or the T between that, striking down. I'm going to hold my pick up like this so you can see what's going on. Notice that you can see my thumb and the strings and the pick, right? That's the way it should look. Now that we know all the parts of your guitar and how to hold your pick, let's get to know the most important part of your Loog, the strings. The strings are how you make music. We're gonna go into many lessons about how we create chords and how we create songs, and it all starts with these 3 strings. And the cool part is these 3 strings are the exact same 3 strings tuned the exact same way as a full 6-string guitar. And that's what I love about the Loog, is it helps you grow into a 6-string guitar when you're ready. The strings are this very thin string. This one down here is the E string. Musicians call that the 1st string. The middle one is string 2. That's a B. That's the tone you're making as a B. And then the brass one on the acoustic guitar, or the top string on the electric guitar, is a G. So we have 3 strings, and we count them in reverse order, kind of like a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Let's try and pick those strings. 3, 2, 1. There you go. That's G, B, E. That's the tone of the strings. That's the way we can play and hear and know those strings. So the goal is to be able to get to memorize our strings and to be able to pick and play each string. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great. Stick around just a little bit. I'm going to do a little quiz and we're going to play different strings at different times. I named the strings. I also named tones. And those tones happen by tuning the string to the exact wavelength and the exact tone of a note. The E string, the B string, and the G string all have each individual tuners so that if I get out of tune, uh-oh, oh boy, I no longer sound like an instrument. That just sounds like garbage. When we want the tone to go higher, we're going to turn our tuners away from us. So notice I'm turning that way, away from me. The tone is going higher. And if I want the tone to go lower, I can turn it towards myself. But now I am way out of tune and I need help. And I'm going to turn to the Loog app and use the tuner inside of the app. You'll notice that the app has a lot of options to it. So let's navigate to the tuner. It's on the top row and it's right next to music on. I'm going to turn the music off just so we can talk a little bit clearer. And I'm also going to then click on the tuner. Great. So here we are. It looks a lot like your Loog, especially if it has 3 strings, the G, the B, and the E string. It's telling you what octave you're in, G3, B3, and E4. We'll talk about more music stuff later. So what we want to do is we want to click on the G, and it pulls up a little bit of how to tune your Loog. Notice it talked just now about like loosening and tightening your strings. So let's play the string and see where we're at. So notice that it hears me and it says I'm too loose, so I need to tighten it. I'm going to turn away from me. Notice I'm not playing a lot, I'm just plucking and listening. And I'm turning, plucking and turning. Oh, that was so close. Oh, it said it was good. Look at that. It moved over to the B string automatically. So I'm going to play the B string. Okay, so that's too tight. So I'm going to turn it towards me to loosen it. Oh, I've gone too far. So now I need to turn it back up. All right, so I'm in tune. That's great. So notice we're learning how much we need to turn in order to change the tone. Let's try this E string now. Oh. See, notice I've turned too much, it goes too high. Personally, I like to scoop up into the note. Hey, look at that. Whoa, I got some coins too. That's really cool. So there you go. You get some points for tuning your Loog. Ah, that sounds so much better. I hope that was helpful and you got a chance to learn how to tune your Loog as well. Take your time. Have fun exploring the app. So if you turn the page, you've now learned everything you need to know about your Loog, how to tune it, and your strings. And take a second to color in the strings so you really know and can show that you know the 3 strings. Let's color in the 3rd string red and color the 2nd string blue and the 1st string green. Have fun with that. Okay, we're going to do a little pop quiz. This isn't a part of the book. This is the bonus for you watching this video today. I want to test our skills to see if we can pick each string, and I'm going to give you a couple of variations. So follow along and we're going to play together. Here we go. I want you to play the first string. Which one is the first string? Can you play it? Great. That's right. It's the bottom string. We call that the first string. Do you remember the name of it? Yeah, it's an E. That's right. E. And the tuner is the furthest one away from you. Nice. All right, where is the third string? Can you pick the third string only? That's right. It's the top string, the one closest to your nose. It's right here. Yeah. And notice that the tuner is the one closest to you. And again, if you have an acoustic Loog, it's going to be a different string. It's going to be brass. Okay. So, can you guess what string we haven't played? Can you play it? That's right, the second string. So holding your pick like a pro, I'm going to pluck the second string. All right, that was pretty easy. Now we're going to do a combination. I want you to play strings 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. Nice. Good. Constantly tuning. Now let's play strings 3, 2, 1. Good. Excellent. Now we're going to do a variation. Let's do 3, 2, 3. Ooh. Nice. How about 2, 1, 2? Great. And now let's do 3, 1, 2. All right, finally, we're going to do a really hard one. Let's see if you can remember this. I want you to play 1, 3, 2, 3, 1. All right. Nice. That was just a fun little quiz to make sure you know exactly where your strings are. Hey, that's the end of part 1 of the 4-part lesson, Learning the Loog. And if you haven't, please click the subscribe button, hit your notification bell. I'll be here next week with another lesson, moving into part 2 of the Learn the Loog book. And thank you again for making your purchase of the Learn the Loog book. It helps support this channel so I can provide you with more lessons and have a lot of fun teaching everyone how to play the Loog. All right, we'll see you next time. We're going to learn how to strum, so get excited. And of course, if you get the book and you want to move ahead on your own pace, by all means, do so. All right, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate your time, and I'm so glad you chose this video today to learn how to play the Loog. See you soon.